Sean O'Malley finally got his hands around the UFC belt, which a famous fighter predicted was going to happen from the start.
One was to get a feel for what it might be like early round two. Sterling unable.
While others still seem to doubt just how good Sugar Sean really is. So let's kick it off with what fellow UFC champs have to say about the newest belt holder. Fighters' opinions. At UFC 292, Sean O'Malley stepped into the octagon with the then undisputed bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling and landed a picture-perfect right hand to become the new champ at 135 pounds. O'Malley's ascension to the top of the division was a long time coming, as he was touted to be a future champion ever since his UFC debut. And now that he has finally got his hands around the gold belt, it's fun to see what fighters have been saying about him throughout his rise. So let's start with another current champion, Israel Adesanya. When it comes to Sugar Sean, he is regarded as one of the best and smoothest strikers in the game. But the one man who is considered better in that department is Stylebender. Now, Adesanya seems to share the love of the fans, as he has said that he loves to watch O'Malley fight. Just take a listen to what the champ had to say.
I like Sean's flow, his work, the way he fights, the way he moves, his footwork, his taunts, his kicks, his selection, his combinations, the way he picks his shot, the way he darts in and out. It's pretty to watch. It's beautiful to watch. I'm an artist, and I appreciate beautiful art.
And that beautiful art was on full display in Boston, as O'Malley's footwork kept Aljo guessing and forced him to throw a leaping strike that left him open for the counter. Sticking with the champion theme, let's move on to the next one of the current pound-for-pound greats, Alexander Volkanovski. Now, Volk is known for his brilliant fight IQ, along with clean footwork and the ability to mix his strikes seamlessly with his grappling. He is coming off of his own masterclass against Yair Rodriguez, so when someone like that stamps you as one of the best strikers in the game, it must feel pretty good. Just take a listen to what the featherweight champ had to say about O'Malley's game.
Obviously, his distance control and his movement, footwork is going to be very hard to deal with. He's so good at fighting on the back foot, coming forward, and that was a good example of him coming on the back foot. Credit Sean O'Malley with an incredible finish. Wow.
O'Malley has shown off his creativity in the past by pretending to dribble a basketball in the middle of a fight, before firing off clean 1-2s. But this time around, O'Malley was about his business, as he clinically took out Aljo and made someone like Henry Cejudo eat his words. Cejudo had picked against Sugar Sean, so it's interesting to get his thoughts on the matter, and we wonder if they are changed now. This is what Cejudo had to say leading up to the fight.
Sean O'Malley's strength, his striking. He does have good striking. You know, with 7.47 significant strikes per minute. First in UFC bantamweight history. But I will add something to this. He's also been set up. He's also been set up by Dana White and the UFC. He's not fighting the actual best, the best of the best.
Even when it comes to complimenting O'Malley, Cejudo has to tear him down. But that line of argument no longer works, as O'Malley not only beat the division's champion, but the guy who was just coming off a win against Cejudo himself. Another all-time great that was thoroughly impressed by what O'Malley did against Aljo was Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson. For Mighty Mouse, O'Malley's lateral movement and patience were the key, as he was able to use both things to find an opening in Aljo's attack and land his patented right hand. This is what DJ had to say about Sugar Sean.
When you look at the whole fight, the biggest thing I would like to say that Sugar Sean O'Malley did so well was his lateral movement, back and forth, going left and right, and also just being patient, waiting for Aljamain Sterling to expose his chin.
Another legendary fighter who has nothing but great things to say about the new champ is Daniel Cormier. Now, DC knows a thing or two about pressure, as he has fought some of the biggest fights in UFC history. Right away, DC pointed out that O'Malley looked nervous during the walkout, but afterward, DC credited O'Malley for not only rising to the occasion, but exceeding expectations with his performance. This is what DC had to say about the new champ.
Guys, welcome to the Sugar Show. I mean, so many people thought that this moment may be too big for O'Malley. So many people thought that it was impossible for him to live up to the expectation. Well, not only did he live up to the expectation, he exceeded it. This kid started on the Contender series and he got the rub from Snoop Dogg. And so many people wanted to make him a star and crown him.
After his near-perfect performance, O'Malley had his eyes set on his next target, Chito Vera, being the only man to beat O'Malley so far. And naturally, Sugar Sean wants to get him back and called him out for his first title defense. But Vera, over the years, hasn't had many nice things to say about the new champ. This is what Vera had to say.
We are in the times that everything is cloud, everything is like what you say, who you hang out with. I don't give a shit what he's saying, but I knock him out. You can say whatever you want, you can make fun of it. At the end of the day, he's going to bed every night knowing I put him out. So we can talk crazy shit, I can use my social media and, just say crazy shit. And I know people will like that, but I keep it real. I like to be real. I like to say facts.
Now, another fighter that hasn't had many nice things to say about O'Malley has been Corey Sandhagen. What really set the Sandman off was the fact that O'Malley preferred the money fight against Chito instead of fighting Corey, who just recently beat Vera. Take a listen to what Sandhagen had to say about O'Malley.
To me, is just like, that's like not martial arts to me, so I'm not really, it's like, he could think that way, but when we step into the cage together, I'm gonna maul someone that has that mentality.
While Mystic Mac was once a thing in MMA, there have been other fighters who could see into the future and tell you what was going to happen. Habib Nurmagomedov has had such foresight in his back pocket, and this was on full display as Joe Rogan and Will Harris discussed what made O'Malley so special, which promoted Will Harris to recall what Habib once told him about the now 135-pound champ. Just take a listen to their exchange.
Because you see him throw kicks, you would assume, oh, this kid was like a karate champion or something. Nope. Learned everything all at once.
I feel like Habib is the best read on fights and fighters. His fucking IQ when it comes to fighters. When he was in the hall getting inducted, they asked him how good was O'Malley. Like, we was in there, it was me, DC Ali was backstage, and Khabib was like, Sean O'Malley is that guy. And if Khabib said that, I was like, yeah.
Sugar Sean is special.
He is.
Another fighter who seemed to have an inkling of what O'Malley was about to do was Max Holloway. Some fighters have that it factor, and Max had displayed that throughout his career and felt the same about O'Malley. Just take a listen to what Holloway had to say.
Strong stick and move, hit him, land early, land him quick. I think it'd be a fun fight. It's gonna be a super fun fight, man. I think a lot of people is not giving Sean O'Malley credit. Especially his grappling. This guy grappled. I know it's just grappling, and I know it's just grappling, no strike, whatever. But he did submit Takanori Gomi with a guillotine. So never say never, man. We really don't get to see much of his ground game, but I'm sure he can hold his own, bro.
Now, everyone will be giving Sean O'Malley credit after his incredible performance against Aljamain Sterling. Not only did he defend every takedown, but seemed to read every strike that Aljo threw and was ready with his counter. And now, more than ever before, Sugar Sean has established himself as a premier striker who has all the intangibles to have a long reign in the most stacked division in the UFC. But O'Malley will have his work cut out for him, as there are already several contenders lining up to take that belt from Sugar Sean. So we will just have to see how long the Sugar era really lasts. Now, if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell beside it so that you're notified the next time we upload a new video. With that being said, you just watched us break down what fighters actually think of Sean O'Malley. We'll see you next time.